Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? I was hitting with body punches, and I heard him actually, he was crying in there. You're saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on. BoxingVoice.com. So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Productions.
Making women gestures like, let's go jam.
It's the champ, baby. TBV podcast. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. On the rumor mill, we got news, rumors, and headlines, and today is going to be topic of discussion. IBF super featherweight champion making his first title defense. Gervonta Tank Davis takes on UK's own Liam Walsh. We have BoxingMD and the hipster Matt Hunter on. Let's jump out to the Sunshine State. What's going on, brother? I know you want to see this. We're gonna head on over to the Sunshine State. BoxingMD. What's going on?
Is that a fair statement to make? You have to be honest with yourself. Glad to be back with this mid-afternoon Eastern Central Time edition of the Boxing Voice. I know a lot about Gervonta Davis, and I'm very high on Gervonta Davis, but I do not know that much about Liam Walsh, to be honest. But it does seem that the key for success that a lot of these young fighters are taking is to maybe get a belt and go to where the money is in the sport of boxing, and that happens to be the UK. So I kind of like this move, to be honest.
All right. Let's head on over to the other Sunshine State, the Golden State, to the hipster. Matt, what's going on, brother? How are the travels? You made it back okay?
Yeah, I made it back pretty good. A direct flight from New York to LA is only like 6 hours. Not too bad. That connecting flight to Florida was killer. That was like 11 and a half hours of traveling. But I'm back. I'm back in LA in my own studio. We're a little more comfortable. Ness's studio was a little bit tight, a little bit small. It was hard to get around. Didn't have my mixer there. It was just a little bit difficult. So I'm glad I'm back in my own chair. And before we get to this topic, I want to thank everyone who came out to the TBV party. The list of people is just too long to shout out. Nothing but love and respect to all of you. Can't wait to see you guys again. And shout out to our sponsors too. It was an incredible show. Incredible time in New York City and at Brooklyn and the Barclays for the fight. It was just an awesome time. I can't wait to be back on the East Coast.
Well, let's get into it. Who is Liam Walsh? I mean, you're our resident hipster, man. Educate us. Who's this guy? I mean, I know Gervonta. Everybody knows the protege of Floyd Mayweather Jr. So who's this guy that kind of looks like a school teacher?
He's not truly tested, obviously. His biggest win is Andre Klimov, and that's not that incredible, let's be honest. He's been a gatekeeper for a while. But Liam Walsh is a really interesting prospect because he doesn't fight like most European fighters or most UK fighters. Imagine like a Liam Smith, right, with a high guard, coming in without a jab, throwing volume. That's not what Liam Walsh fights like. He's a southpaw, fights a little more slick, has a really good, strong lead hand for a southpaw, good jab, good check hook, throws straight punches usually. I think he's going to be a really tough test for Gervonta Davis, honestly. Even though Liam Walsh is untested and Gervonta Davis is obviously more tested because of the Pedraza win, I still think that Liam Walsh is going to give him a tough test, especially since Gervonta Davis is going to the UK. ITV.com is reporting that. And I believe there's either a press conference later today or tomorrow in the UK.
Tuesday in the UK. Floyd Mayweather Jr. will be there. The BoxingVoice.com will have our correspondent there as well. MD, I'm gonna kind of shift it to you. You can either buy or sell. You don't have to give me your take on this, but interesting that this opponent for Gervonta's defense is a 20 ranked fighter.
I mean, based on what you're just saying right there, I would sell it if you're just asking me that specific argument, right? Because I think that when you're as good as Gervonta Davis and you just want a belt, fighting a 20th ranked opponent, I think, is beneath you. It's only because you achieved such greatness in that division. So just based on that, no. I'm pretty sure Liam Walsh, he's a Frank Warren fighter, which is kind of why he's not even that well known amongst even myself or people that are more hardcore boxing fan than myself, maybe Matt or the real hardcores. So he's, like a definition of a domestic level fighter. And I don't think his career has exploded in the way that would make himself that big. But just from a business perspective, considering that Lomachenko already has a fight, I don't know who else is in that division. That's a sexy name on the top of my head, but it makes sense to get Gervonta Davis over where he could impress, because every single time he steps in the ring, even if he doesn't look good at times, right? I've seen him. I was at one of his fights that it's not that he didn't look good at times. It's just he was maybe just watching his work, taking time to land his shots. He comes with power. And if he goes overseas and knocks Liam Smith through the ropes or knocks him out, similar to what he did.
Liam Walsh.
Walsh, my bad. Liam Walsh, if he knocks him out impressively, that can make his stock raise. And obviously being connected to Floyd Mayweather, being the second protege, because obviously Adrian Broner was the first protege, it gives him a lot of pull.
You mean third? It was Adrian Broner, then it was Earl Spence, and now he's.
I don't think Earl Spence was ever like a protege, to be honest. I don't think he ever was wearing the TMT stuff. I don't think he was.
Jay Leon Love was more of a protege.
Yeah, but wasn't a protege. Exactly. But I think that even from a perspective of, and this sounds so stupid, but you guys can understand this, I'm sure, by living here. Even for just that people are like, fuck Floyd, we don't like Floyd. I'm not saying me, I'm saying in general. Fuck Floyd, we don't like Floyd. Here's his guy. I mean, Gervonta Davis, he could definitely play the role of a bad guy, and sometimes he does seem to do that, because I've seen how he interacts in media and how he interviews, and he has no problem playing the role of a bad guy. He will take that, he will embrace that role if he chooses to.
And there's something about going overseas, because he is going to be the bad guy in the UK, no matter what. Even if he was universally loved in boxing, he's still the bad guy in the UK, obviously. They're going to rep their guy. So I think this is actually a really smart move on Mayweather to get him against an untested fighter who's still a good prospect in his home country for some good money. I think it's a really good move. Especially
Isn't it just mandatory as well?
I don't know if it's mandatory. I can look that up really fast, though.
Yeah, so yeah, it's one of those things. It's like you use your mandatories when they fit fine. And we'll talk about this later, but I'm okay with you're doing this. I've accepted this, right? Because I just know how this sport works. And people might say, well, this guy did. No, you got to do what, like, I'm okay with a 1-and-1. In other words, you take a big risky fight, then you get your one soft touch. And the degree in which the riskiness is and the soft touches is, that's obviously up for interpretation. But, that's why someone like Keith Thurman, right? And I'm not saying that he's going to fight a guy that's ranked 50th. But I think after fighting Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, it's a little bold to assume that you're going to then take on
Earl Spence or fucking Kell Brook next.
Exactly. So, like, if you just go with the 1-and-1, if the one is legitimate and then the one soft touch is not that bad, I accepted that as a boxing fan, because I understand that these guys need to make a career, and they need to extend their career, and they need to give an opportunity for people in different communities, whether it's going a hometown fight, whether it's going to a different location to see them, I guess, be great. So that's kind of my bar that I said.
Liam Walsh is the mandatory, and the other fighter behind him is Mario Barros, and the other champion is Jezreel Corrales. Sort of is up in the air. Miguel Berchelt just beat Francisco Vargas, so I'm assuming he's taking some time off, and obviously Vasily Lomachenko does have a fight scheduled. So taking a mandatory fight isn't, I think, something to scoff at. That's what we want fighters to do.
Oh my, I don't think Barrios is ready just yet. He looked phenomenal over the weekend. but the power of Tank seems to be real. I'd like, Marios to be under the tutelage of Virgil Hunter just a little bit longer, learn how to use that height and reach a little more. Most tall guys seem to give up their height. With me and MD were reviewing the, Hay Bellew fight, and Hay was giving up his height. His head was always in front of his lead foot, way past his knee. But seems we have our Texas correspondent. Let me get to him.
It's me, Mario.
What's going on, guys? Listen, I'm pretty sure that the discussion is somewhere between, the opponent and the timing. But for a first offense, Matt knocked it out of the park. There's nothing wrong with Liam Walsh. I think that Gervonta Davis is an animal. He is a beast in the ring. And I think he's still growing. It's unfortunate that titles and championships mean a certain thing in sports, and they don't mean that in boxing. How many times have we seen guys win championships that weren't necessarily I don't want to say ready, because that's not the right word, but I guess fully primed. I keep using that word today. It's just one of those things where I think Gervonta Davis is still growing. I think he's still finding himself. You're right, Ness. The power is real. There are a lot of things about this kid that are real. And I think that the potential is still real. And so, a fight like with Mario Barrios, a few of the other guys, Francisco Rodriguez, I think you mentioned, a few of the other guys in that division. The only unfortunate aspect about, I think, Gervonta Davis is how much bigger he's going to get. He's going to have to wait for some of the guys in the lower weight classes to come up for fights. So there's plenty of time to grow big fights. There's plenty of time to do big things. And besides, the biggest fight he could take right now is a fight that would be very difficult to make anyway. So I enjoy the fight. I'm starting this.
One that he already rejected. He said he wasn't ready for Lomachenko. What I do want to say is that I want to credit and applaud Floyd Mayweather Jr. For doing a good job in promoting Gervonta Davis. I believe, MD, you love social media, and I am right on par with you on that. He has about 250,000 of everything on every platform. On top of that, him going across the seas.
But the most important thing, you do give Floyd praise. But with that praise, I mean, there's a reason why what's his name never Badu Jack never really got that type of push, is because Gervonta Davis does it himself in the ring.
That's a good point.
And outside the ring. I mean, who doesn't want to when this guy's fighting, who doesn't want to see him fight? Whether you're a casual or hardcore fan, he is exciting. And he gets hit a little bit, and he definitely hits back.
Totally
so
the one lucky
I want to say, I think Mayweather corrected his own mistakes. He never fought in the UK, and starting Gervonta early is a good thing. And that is the reason that I want to applaud Mayweather, because, it's something that we've wanted from Mayweather for a long time, was for him to have a fight over in the UK and kind of be an international, superstar.
I disagree with that, actually. I disagree with that, actually.
But I'm going to extend that applause. Because what we've seen from Floyd Mayweather, I think he talked to the Telegraph last week. Matt, I don't know when that article you sent us was, but he spoke with the Telegraph, and he's and this isn't nothing new. He's been praising and hyping up the UK fans because he knows what the UK fans represent. He knows that at this point, and I don't want to turn my back on my Hispanic community, but they're the best fans right now in the world. They really are, and he's recognized that. I think it took him a little while to recognize that, but the mistakes he's making up for, I think, as a fighter, he's making up for them as a promoter. And whether you want to call them mistakes, you want to call them, purposeful tactics. That's another argument, but he is making up for it as a promoter. He's selling this to the UK. He's making himself approachable. He said UK first when they kept talking about international spots, and it's UK first for a reason right now.
I just have 1 second. I just have one more thing to say. I do like the fact that Floyd Mayweather. When you said we wanted Floyd Mayweather to go to the UK to be an international star, I think that he was able to do that with never leaving the US because it was a different time, it was a different era. And I think really when we look at it, and we're going to be honest about it, right? And you could say this yourself, Mari, you could agree or disagree. There's not really the Mexican legends or even the Mexican talent necessarily that there used to be to give some American fighters the opportunity to shine in different communities. So it seems to me that the UK is like the new Mexican crowd, like you said. That
very well said.
You have to go to UK to beat a good UK guy to get the love. So I mean, what made Floyd Mayweather great? He went, and not only what he did in the Olympics and what he did in the amateurs, it was the fact that he was able to go through a lot of Mexican legends. Look what Manny Pacquiao did. Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Mexican, American, Mexican, Mexican. This matters to get yourself to where Gervonta Davis at the end wants to be.
Good point. Good point. Listen, we're going to open up these phone lines. You know the number, 1-425-569-5241. International callers. Check out the banner here. Add me on Skype. Nestor Gibbs is the name you have to add. You must add in order to be part of the conversation. So we're going to go out to our Boomerang Australian International Caller of the Year, probably in Philadelphia right now.
No one can stop me, really.
Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in its jaws to whip my head right off.
You gotta be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, these are unbeatable. You gotta be the legend to become a legend.
Hey boys, pumping out those shows. Yeah, still in Philly, enjoying it here. Love the States.
Yo, what are you doing in Philly, man? Yo,
Oh, you in the hood for
damn,
real,
bro.
Yeah, come on, Alex. Get away from those cops, man.
Hey, Alex, man.
Hide that Tyson Fury. Hide that Tyson Fury.
Dante's come. Huh?
Did you just rob somebody? What the fuck?
Hey,
You're
Matt, what's going on?
surrounded by all the
Sorry?
cops right now, huh?
I can barely hear you, Ness.
I know,
But,
with all those sirens.
I'll quickly finish up on the point. I think MD's totally on point here. I mean, Gervonta's what, like 18 fights in or something like that. One big fight and one small fight. Let's build him up a little bit slowly. Give him another year or two. Throw him in there with Loma if he really wants it. I mean, JD reckons Davis will beat him. I don't think the same. Oh, by the way, MD, you got a pie bet with Info Joe, don't you?
He stepped away just a few seconds ago, but he did hear the first part of it. We'll wait for him to come back. Pie bet with Info Joe. We'll be sure to remind him. He also lost the bet to Bruce. He said Danny wouldn't make it out of the 12th round, and he sure did.
All right. Well, I matched. We're doubling up on that TBV pie bet. I matched it. I'm doing a pie bet with JD on the same fight. I'm Team GGG. So hopefully, if Davis ends up fighting Loma down the line, I'll do another pie bet with JD because bloke's a little delusional at the moment. But maybe a pie or two will help him out. Us Aussies got to show you Americans something. But great work, boys. Again, man. Show after show, you guys just keep putting that work in. Definitely. There's no competition in podcasts. TBV is number one, and everyone thumbs up. Sign up to Patreon as always, and enjoy the content as I keep enjoying.
Right, Alex. Thank you for calling in.
The only thing that I see though that could affect the Lomachenko Davis fight for happening is the fact that I think maybe by the time Gervonta Davis is looking for that, maybe Lomachenko will be a division above. So I don't know if that.
Man. Mayweather would have to show real maturity to make a deal with Bob Arum. He really dislikes Bob Arum. I don't know. He would remember. He's probably gonna ask for to be lead promoter or sole promoter of that promotion.
And I don't want to be too morbid, but I mean, Top Rank will continue with Bob Arum because they have people in place to take over the organization. So maybe that will change the dynamic if Bob Arum maybe steps away or he's not with us anymore. And I don't want to say it that way, but he is old. He's very
no. I don't think it's disrespectful at all. But I'll say this: he ain't gonna step away unless it's in that fashion. But it's not disrespectful at all. You know, I really don't, because it's something that's going to change the entirety of you know, the landscape of not just that promotion but the sport itself. So it's something to you know, remember.
And very quickly, because
pay attention to it.
Question for you, MD. Don't you have a pie bet with Info Joe on the Triple G Jacobs fight? Is it a pie bet, or it's some sort of bet, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Alex.
There's a lot of people that owe me bets, but it's all good. But I'll take
Alex was asking. That's why he's
he also wants to double it or something with you, something like that.
He's picking Jacobs.
No. Alex said he's making another bet like yours, because he's picking Triple G and JD is picking Daniel Jacobs as always.
Right.
Really quick, just
he should have got odds. He should have done one pie to 8 pies, because those are the odds. You know what I mean?
Really quick, just to clarify, I don't know, this is me assuming, but my producer asked the question about Alex. For all those that are wondering why he's always first, he is a boomerang. It's a Patreon perk. You want to find out about it, check us out on Patreon. But don't get mad. Don't hate the player. How that saying goes? I don't even remember anymore. Oh, yeah. Don't hate the game. No, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? Alex is paying dues, and he's jumping around.
Those are those 90s lyrics.
Time ago, the Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Who's next? I got milk, baby.
Yeah, the milkman is back. Blog Talk fucked me this morning, like they always do in the AM. So I'm back for the afternoon show.
Milkman, I just want to say, anyway, you know, you could download, for everyone listening to this, you know, you guys can download the Skype app on any smartphone, create an account, add Nestor Gibbs, and whenever Blog Talk acts up, jump through the bat line, buddy.
Spell your username real quick, man.
Nestor space GIBBS.
All right, I got you. Hey man, what can we say? The UK is red hot right now. There's a lot of action over there, man. And it's been like it's always been. The fans are great over there in the UK. And you know, the thing about, you know, Tank fighting this guy over there is, I don't really think the UK fans really care how known the guy is from their country. They just want to see a fight, man. Especially when it's a fight between one of theirs and one of ours. So I think it's a smart move, man. I think getting our guys to go across the pond and get exposure over there is great.
Especially when it's a good one of ours. You know what I mean? Not like a Charles Martin.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. You know, the same thing would. I think the same thing applies if Wilder went across the pond to fight your boy who just knocked out David Hay.
Bellew.
I mean, I think the UK is a smart move. Yeah, Bellew. So yeah, I think I like that fight, man. Anything over there in the UK is something new that we don't see every day, man. So I'm with it, man. It's time to pack up and go overseas every now and again and show the guys over there what we have. So I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I like it. And something else y'all might want to talk about, since y'all already talking about the UK, is that Floyd's van got torched, man. Somebody threw a fucking Molotov to it and set it on fire.
Yo, I seen it. I'm glad you brought it up. I wanted to talk about that since this was in the UK, and I wonder if it happened, being as though he's waiting. You know, the press conference for this is tomorrow.
Yo, that's a show for itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, no, I mean, the van on fire like that with the TMT. First of all, I just want to say credit to Floyd. I don't know if he just gets to these states and countries and hires a digital graphics guy that does vinyl and wraps whatever vehicle he's going to be in for the week. But again, that's fucking promotion.
Gibbs, when you're networking,
oh, he does it big time, bro. He does it big time like that.
It doesn't matter how much money he has.
No, you're right.
The fact that he's using his marketing dollars when so many other promoters are not. I just want to continue to mention that that's not his country. So those obviously he didn't fucking ship those cars over there. So he's investing and sending someone ahead of time to rent cars and wrap them with the TMT logo. That's fucking dope.
But how does yeah, I feel you. Listen, I think Floyd's doing some good things and some bad things as a promoter, but definitely some good things. I agree. Well,
I mean, I'm just talking from a marketing standpoint. Listen, Milkman, thank you for calling in. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to ask everyone to also thank us. If you're watching this, hit the thumbs up. I just don't understand why there's so many watching, but not the same amount of thumbs up, which obviously help with the visibility of the show. And when you got a sexy co-host like BoxingMD, he looks like he belongs on a sitcom or something. You need to get him out there in front of the masses. You know what I'm saying? So hit that thumbs up. Let's make him popular. We're going to go out to our 2017 Prospect Caller of the Year, Marcus from DC. Oh man, that producer still has you're still butthurt from the butt whooping, huh?
Wait, how would you know if the butt whooping is? You guys should go to Patreon and see the fight yourselves.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? I think there's two things going on with Floyd's development of Gervonta. Gervonta, through the relationship with Floyd Mayweather, obviously got a championship fight a lot sooner than most prospects get a fight, usually somewhere after their 20th, 22nd, 23rd fight. So I think they do know that Gervonta needs to develop still. However, it's hard to have a belt and not be expected to fight top flight caliber, either contenders and or other champions. That being said, I was sitting here when it popped up earlier watching Walsh versus Klimov. And, you know what I'm saying, he's not a bad fighter. He's not a bad fighter at all. He's not a bad fighter for Gervonta to defend his title against. I think that I had spoken in several shows before, is that, you know, UK fans want the best man to win. Although they pull for their guy, they're not as biased as us when it comes to you know, if their man loses to a better man, they appreciate it. They'll come out and support the fight. A lot of times, if the guy we want to win doesn't win, or we don't engineer that person to win, is why we don't have the same fanship and fanhood as the UK. So, I mean, I think it's a great fight for Gervonta at this stage in his career. I think it's great for Floyd to get him in front of a big crowd to almost prepare him for a big fight long before he has a big fight in the U.S. And I think that, you know, at some point in time, maybe about 5 fights, maybe he'll be ready to unify with some of the other names. You know, maybe he'll be ready for Nicholas Walters, even though he doesn't have a title. Maybe he'll be, you know, can deal with a Burchard or deal with you know, I think he can probably take Francisco Vargas at this point. I think he's pretty much battered into submission. But I don't really see anything too wrong with it. You know, yeah, he's 20th in what level, but I guess in the IBF he's ranked second. So not a bad fight. Good little fighter. I'm watching him against Andre Klimov, who's being coached by Buddy McGurton. So he's putting up a valiant effort. You know, so far I think he's winning the fight. So I think it's a pretty good fight. I mean, I don't know what else we can expect in this short period of time. He was just fortunate enough to get Pedraza when he caught Pedraza. I don't know that he beats Jezreel Corrales in that fight. If it's that fight in his career, maybe in 4 fights, I think he's ready for Jezreel. So let's see what happens.
All right, Marcus, thanks again for calling in. Pleasure meeting you at the TBV Appreciation Night. We're going to go out to 702. 702, we've been busy this month. Producer has you marked down as you called in once before. We'd like to get your name and obviously where exactly you're calling from in again so we can get you down.
Yeah, this is Dre, you feel me? I'm in Vegas right now, but I'm from San Bernardino, California, you feel me? I'm just calling in, giving in my opinion on this Davis, you feel me? I feel like, you know, Davis is a good fighter, you feel me? He needs to go over there and get some more exposure, because I see like about 3 to 4 more fights, you feel me, that he could take within the next year or two that'll give him a lot more exposure to like take him over that realm that he needs. Exposure regardless, you feel me? And I want to say for the Boxing Nation, stop hating on the TPV, man. They doing their thing, man. Let them niggas do their thing. And MD, man, I feel you. I'm gonna get back at you on that Golovkin fight too when y'all do that long show for him. Because I do got a lot of people that be hating up on GGG, man. Let that man do what he do. Because I'm from San Bernardino. I mess with Big Bear, California. You feel me? So if anybody got anything to say, you feel me, you can holler at me. I stay in the streets, my nigga. I'm a real one. But big up, Ness. That's all I wanted to say. I don't want to take too much time up, man. Let another caller get it in this 2 cents. Feel me?
Thank you for calling in, Dre. We're going to get you down. Dre from Vegas, Matt, Lazy.
I got it.
Yeah, I don't see that. Blind Man Brad, what's going on? Glad to see you calling back in.
How you doing, Ness?
I'm good, brother. Glad to see you calling right back in. Yesterday, now today. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I listen to all your shows, man. You guys do a great job. This Tank Davis guy, he seems pretty interesting. If you don't mind, would you tell me some of his strengths and weaknesses? Yeah.
Well, let's get the good doctor in on his analysis. He's been high on this guy for some time now.
Yep, I have. Because I had the opportunity to see him fight in Orlando at a smaller venue for a PBC fight. I think it was on Spike. So his strengths and weaknesses. He's a short, compact, muscular guy. He obviously is very explosive, but he's not really like you would think and look at him maybe being more stiff. But he's not. The way he throws punch combinations is very fluid, right? He goes in and out. I would say that some of his weaknesses is defensively. He gets hit a lot because when he darts in and out and lets his hands go, he's there to be hit a little bit. And that could also be because he doesn't necessarily respect his level of opposition. But then again, that's when people say that, it's often a bad habit to get into when you face somebody who hits a little harder or hits a little more accurate, like, somebody like a Lomachenko, for example. So Tank Davis has the opportunity to be a superstar. I think he's that level of a real superstar, not just a star what he is now. I think he has that level of talent.
One quick thing I'll add too is even though he has short arms and he's a shorter fighter, the one thing that I appreciate about him, he's a guy who finds a way to win at a distance. Usually guys with his type of build are at a fairly wide disadvantage on the outside, but he finds a way to get work done on the inside and outside pretty effectively.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've always been into the head movement and stuff like that. Like, I don't like when I see the guys just come straight in and take hits like it's still the amateurs and stuff. That kind of, it reflects some of their defense in that skill set. But yeah, that's a pretty good analysis, and yeah, I definitely.
Brad, I think he has the ability to do that. Like, he has the ability to do that, right? To bang, but he also has the ability to use his athleticism and timing and range. So he's a versatile fighter, which, to be honest, is good because it's entertaining just to show different facets of your game.
That's pretty awesome, man. Well, I appreciate the breakdown, and yeah, I'll be calling in, man. Thank you, Ness, and thank you all you guys.
Thank you, Brad. Always a pleasure to have you. Let's get to our boomerang. Canadian Jose.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rosé, getting money like Jose, chain cold, Norway, shorty wants that full play, I'm like, no way, gotta rock it like Coldplay, killing it, getting cheese like Green Bay, call me Aaron Rodgers.
Jose, what's up?
What's up, man? First of all, we forgot to break out the cake there at the reunion, man. It was, what is it? Congratulations, man. 5 years now?
5 years now.
Congrats. We should have made you bite the cake, man. We forgot all about that.
I know we did.
It is. Good job, man. That's 5 years and still going strong, man. So you got to keep that up. I actually disagree with this Gervonta Davis going over the pond. I don't think it does anything for him, man. Like, I mean, to be honest, it's the other way around, man. The guys from across the pond got to come here. You don't have to, you don't have to
make more money in the UK, Jose.
You make more money, yes. Outside of money, it's a step backwards because
outside of money,
it is mandatory, and if he goes to the UK, it's more money. So therefore, it makes sense that he goes to the UK to fight as mandatory.
No, less exposure, man. Way less exposure because no one in America.
But Jose, outside of money, can you just think about that for a second? Outside of money.
It's the money team.
No. I'm not even saying that. No, I'm not even going into that ridiculousness. I'm being fair and assessing that. You can't say just outside of money, like money doesn't matter. These guys are prize fighters. They're athletes. They're professionals.
No, but
the definition of a professional is to get paid for what you do.
Short term. Yes, it's short term money. It's a short term play. It's not a long. They're not analyzing.
Then who is the fight that he should have taken in his first title defense? Give us an alternative.
America, man. He's got to keep building his. He's got to build his brand here before he worries about going to UK.
This fight
it's not the problem. So Jose doesn't have a problem with the opponent. He has a problem with the location. He's saying that Walsh should have come over here. Gervonta Davis. Okay, yeah.
But I still think, why not go to the UK? Yeah, we've seen other fighters do that in recent years and make great money.
What does it do for him? It does nothing for him.
Yes, it does. It gives him the opportunity to be in front of and be on British television. Frank Warren has the accessibility to be on, I think it's network television over there. He's not pay-per-view.
Fox Nation.
What does that do? As well.
Being in the UK, what does it do for you? It does nothing for you as an American fighter who's just starting to build up.
That's ridiculous.
No one's going to watch him here. That's the point.
Okay, so it gives him $2 million or whatever he's going to get for that one fight. Even if that's all it gets him something.
Yeah, but it's taking a step back, man. He's not in the eyes of the public here where he needs to be, man. You guys got to see that, man.
But you don't know it's not going to be televised. That's a fact. We don't know if it's going to be televised in the U.S.
Jose,
the press conference is not scheduled till tomorrow.
Jose, Charles Martin made more in one fight over there than he would have made his entire career over here, and I think that's a fact.
And you know what? And real quick, I think that what Jose is referring to is not the money, but what it does for his career, like aside from the money, like in the rankings of the sport, and where it draws the interest from the eyes of viewership. But that's the thing, Jose, you got to understand is the UK is becoming one of the, if not the biggest markets in the sport. Boxing is still a niche sport. It can exist in a smaller platform than football and basketball and baseball. And you know, the UK is the driving force behind that right now.
Well, Jose's a boomerang. He's going to have to use that status in order to answer any of those questions.
And I also think you have to consider that, let's just say Liam Walsh is the opponent. Do you recommend him fighting in DC versus Liam? I just, you know, he just fought Protégé, who was his title winner. So the only, like, unless you fight someone like Loma.
MD, that doesn't make bad. That sounds good. Him to bring this guy, Liam Walsh, who no one's ever heard of, to his hometown to fight in a homecoming title defense. The way that all champions.
What's his hometown? You're saying DC? Because I've never heard of a fight in Baltimore.
He's in Baltimore. He's from Baltimore. But
I know, but I've never heard of a fight in Baltimore.
Yeah, you would obviously do it in DC. Damn, Jose said he wants the boomerang back in.
Yeah, he's already pressed one.
You're back, buddy. Let me get the clock on.
Yo, I did press one. So here's the thing. You guys got to understand this. To build his brand, he's got to build it here first before he goes out there, man. You're not going to do anything going out there right now where it does nothing for you. If anything, he should capitalize on the fight he just did, on the exposure he just got, and fight somebody legitimate here, build more of a fan base here, and then go over and come back. Right now, he's got to capitalize on it. Right now, he's going to fight some guy in the UK. It's not for the North American fan. It's just for the money. It's TMT, man. It's Floyd taking care of his own interest. It's not
Jose.
Floyd building up Gervonta. It's Floyd going down there and making business connections for himself. It's
Jose, if the fight's televised in the U.S., will you be okay with it then?
Jose, I'm pretty sure this.
I would be.
Listen, I'm pretty sure this fight is going to be televised on Showtime. Are you kidding me? This is a Showtime fighter. They're not going to let this not be on Showtime. The same way they put all the other fights on Showtime.
Well, it's going to be at 8 o'clock. And if that's the case, I mean, I just don't see the point of it yet. We're rushing too much.
Jose, you don't live here, right? You don't live. I know you live in Canada and you understand this, right? There's fights on Fox. There's fights on CBS. Yeah. They do 2 to 3 million views. I'm pretty sure they get more than that over the UK. That's a much smaller country. So you have to understand, like, I get what you're saying, but maybe this is a business opportunity for both Floyd Mayweather and his fighter that they can't turn down. And it seems like that because the exposure and the money seems to be something, and it's a beatable opponent. So from a business
exposure in the market he needs, it's not the exposure in the market he needs.
But that's the thing you don't get. That's a part of his.
He needed to have fought somebody. He could have fought somebody legitimate here. It would have been much better for him.
The markets have changed, though. The U.S. and the Mexican demographic doesn't sell boxing anymore, man. Like, that's just a reality. I live in L.A., the center of Mexican-American boxing, and it's not the same.
We were at a 16,000-person sellout, man. 16,000 people there. You put the right matchup, fans will go and watch. That's what you guys got to understand. You put shit up, no one's going to go.
That's probably the biggest fight you can make right now, or one of the biggest fights you can make right now. Two welterweights that are both popular, especially Danny Garcia being very popular. Like, Gervonta Davis is not at that level yet, Jose. You have to understand that. And what's to say that he can't go back to the UK? 1 second. What's to say that he can't go back to the UK and do another fight like this and make another few $1 million?
Up against the Gamboa.
Good call, Jose. He got you on the ropes, man.
Gamboa?
Yeah, Gamboa. That's
guarantee this is more exposure for him with Frank Warren over there than Gamboa, honestly.
Really?
Yes.
Who cares though?
No.
But would be better, man.
Who cares, man? It's not just about U.S. fans because we don't push the market. We're not the driving demographic in boxing anymore. The Mexican isn't the driving.
I'd rather see him fight Gamboa. Personally,
that matters.
I'd personally rather see him fight Gamboa because I like Gamboa as a fighter, even though he's older. But I don't know, Jose. It's okay, man. I feel you though. He made good points. I just don't agree with them.
All right. Well, again, for anybody that's like, how the hell did Jose get back on? Don't hate the player, hate the game. He's using his Patreon perks, and that's exactly what they were designed for. Speaking of Patreon perks, my man Stainless is a ringer, so he gets to cut the line. Stainless, what it do, brother? All the way from Nashville. Did you make it home safe?
Yeah. I just got home like 2 hours ago, man. Safe on my flight.
Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that.
Just seeing my daughter. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I saw Matt on the line, so I just wanted to say what's up to him.
What's up, Stainless?
I saw him back safe. You know what I'm saying? I saw that TBV signal, so you know what I'm saying? I went ahead and looked on YouTube, see what the topic was, and jumped on the line. And I wanted to go ahead and RSVP for the next TBV right now. You know what I'm saying? I heard Fern gonna be doing it after I got off. So to anybody not brave enough to do it, that's cool, because that guarantees that I'm gonna have my slot. But if you haven't, you should come out, man. You'll have a great time, man. I'm sitting here with one of my friends now. He don't even watch boxing like I do, and I'm trying to convince him. You know, it's a good thing to come out to, because it's just because of the vibe alone, man. So, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to say, you know what I'm saying, much love to all y'all, man. I'm happy to see everybody made it back safe. You know what I'm saying? And as always, you know, please make sure that you like this and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. Peace.
Stainless, thanks for calling in. Now check that out. That's loyalty right there. Using the ringer status just to make sure Matt made it home and say a couple of good words. Let's get out to Mike from New York. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's good? What's good? Yeah, what's good?
Another day, another podcast. We're talking to young Gervonta Davis. What's your thoughts?
Yo, man, you can't ignore mandatories. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna force a mandatory, you gotta handle your business. You know, so why not go to the UK and get some bread? But I understand what the other caller was saying about how it might affect his stock in America. But you know, he's doing good in America. On March 25th, he's doing Baltimore. The whole city of Baltimore is giving him his own day called Tank Day.
Yeah, he's getting a key to the city.
His own day in his own city.
He's getting a key to the city.
So you know, I mean, hopefully he wraps up his business and overseas, comes right back, you know, and satisfy the DC area with a fight, you know. But his whole thing is that he has to stay active, you know what I'm saying? Can't just fight twice a year. So, you know, hopefully he satisfies his UK joint and come back. But I want to end some chatterbox about the whole Lomachenko fight. Lomachenko, there's a video on YouTube where Lomachenko's getting, like, he's on his back, he's getting a massage.
Whoa. If you're gonna talk about videos and Lomachenko, let's talk about this dude being in a fucking bathtub with rubber duckies. There's something wrong with him.
It's funny, if you let him talk, that's exactly what he was about to talk about.
Well, to end all the chatter that's wasting your time, because people are wasting your time talking about, oh, what about Lomachenko? Well, in this video, if you go on YouTube, they'll just put in, you know, Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. He's getting a massage, and some chick is talking to him, and then he responds in Russian, but their subtitles where he says, Gervonta Davis? No, he's too young. He's too new. He's too young. He's not ready yet. So he himself already wants that idea. So, you know, hopefully that ends it. You know what I'm saying? But people can look it up. He's getting a massage on his back. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Actually, Ness, I apologize. Bring up that video because you're right.
It wasn't the same video, but
that was a weird video. I don't even know
what's weird, dude.
What video you guys talking about?
I don't even know how the fuck Bob Arum and anybody that does PR allowed that out. Like,
what was the video?
Man in a bathtub with no bubbles, okay? Because there's a difference between bubbles and no bubbles, man. So a grown man. No, don't fucking laugh. Like, it's true. Like, yo, you can't see when there's bubbles. You can see when there's no fucking bubbles. This guy's in a bathtub. Look, I'm just going off of what I've seen. Who knows if, you know, that's a doctored video or something, if it's fake, if it's a Lomachenko stunt double. But he's in the tub playing with fucking rubber duckies. Talking about, I love boxing and I love rubber duckies. Something is wrong with that dude. If that video is true, I'm just saying. I've never, you know, that's weird for real. Brandon from Houston, talk to us.
What's up, Boxing Voice? I gotta agree with MD on this one. Gervonta Davis gets that UK exposure. You know, that just helps build the brand of, you know, TMT and Gervonta Davis. Those guys will come out in droves. Thousands of people come see Gervonta. Carl the fight with him and Pedraza during the Leo Santa Cruz fight. So these guys are going to come out.
Brandon, let me cut you off, man. Run to a window or move, you know, find a better location. You're going in and out. Terrible signal. Terrible.
It's raining out here. Hello? Can you hear me?
Robotically.
Hello?
Yeah, just finish up. We got you.
Okay. And another thing. Did y'all hear anything I said?
We hear you.
Yeah,
now.
we heard it.
So just take off.
And the Lubin thing, I didn't get a chance to call in a couple days ago. Lubin, he's not ready for Charlo yet, man. I think he should wait 2 more fights. I like Lubin. I think he can beat Charlo, just not yet. I think it will be too soon. But Davis is definitely going to be the next star. And Gamboa's at 135. He can't fight. He can't fight Gervonta unless he's moving back down in weight. And I didn't know that. But that's my call. Hey, y'all hit that like button.
All right, Brandon. Well, thank you again. And that's right. If you're listening to Brandon, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get the visibility of the show where it needs to be. We're going to keep these phone lines coming. We're going to go out to Ali from Dago. Talk to me.
What's good with everybody, man? First off, let me eat my crow for the Thurman fight.
Stick to the topic, though, Ali.
No, I know, but I had to do that though, you know. But yeah, I actually like this, man, because the guy's the mandatory. He was actually the mandatory for Pedraza, so you know, I guess he must have took step aside money or something and let Tank and Pedraza go at it. Tank whooped his ass, so now he's the mandatory, and I think it's better that it's in England because we don't know much about the guy and he's undefeated. So I feel like it looks better on Tank's resume if he goes in there and wins this fight, that he beat him in his country. And like I said, the guy was undefeated. He was the mandatory. And it's not like a Pacquiao-Jeff Horn situation because Pacquiao's a superstar. So we knew who Manny Pacquiao was. Tank is still on the rise. So I think this is the perfect fight, man. And that's basically all I got about Boxing Voice. Keep up the good work.
That's a great point that Ollie made, because if you think about it, business is business, and I understand that. But if the whole debate with Jose, and I don't mean to pick on Jose because I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel that way about why go over there and why, but I mean, it seems like justice is served when you were the mandatory before, and now you at least get some perk out of having to wait your turn, other than money.
Joshua, New Orleans.
Yeah, hey y'all, what's up, man? I'm in agreement with. I didn't hear MD point on it, but from what the last caller said, I do agree with MD on to the simple fact that Tank Davis already have a big up in with Mayweather, and Mayweather being affiliated with him gets that name out there and put in certain situations that fighters where he at wouldn't be at this point. But he's and plus he's talented at the same time as well. I don't agree with Jose on fighting and getting a bigger name in the U.S. because I think Matt pointed out, U.S. don't make boxing sell no more. UK is known for their boxing fans. They're known for having great fans and stuff like that. And being able to market to do it on a worldwide scale also helps with his brand as well. I know you say stick to the topic, but I just finished watching Danny Garcia fight and Keith Thurman fight for a second time. Danny Garcia got a chin out this world, man. And I'm kind of mad at myself that I started becoming into a fanboy and wanted him to lose so bad that I started kind of disrespecting the dude's name. And last but not least, MD, I made a bet with you, but I'm pulling out that bet. I'm not standing on it. I've seen some things that I'm not liking with Errol Spence against Carl Brook, so I'm not gonna hold that bet, and that's my call.
What? Well, the fight didn't happen, so that's I think that's respectable.
Okay, you're right because you're man enough on air to say that. I accept.
Yeah, I think that's respectable.
Right, I accept. But can you tell us? But can you tell us the things? Right, you brought that up. Let's hear the things that you are willing to pull a bet out because you were confident enough to make the bet. Let's hear this one.
What did you see that you don't like? Essentially.
All right. Okay. Well, first of all, I was being a fanboy. All right, for straight up. I just realized I was getting caught up in the emotion. It was a heated topic. We was talking about Lomachenko, and I went in and I did something that I normally wouldn't do. I don't bet on fights, only for certain reasons, because I know a lot of things go on in boxing. And so I've been thinking about it, and I see things in Errol. I've been in the gym with Errol before. I never sparred with him, but I watched him work. I really think the dude is talented, but I see some things in his game that I really been critical on him that he needs to work on. Kell Brook, not no little bitty welterweight. He not nobody you could bully around and nobody you could force around. So it's going to be a different type of fight. And I knew this already before I started running my mouth and saying I would bet this and bet that. And I got caught up into it. So what I said is it's not an easy fight. I know it ain't an easy fight. It's going to probably be his hardest fight in the welterweight division if he do make it past Kell Brook. And plus, they got a lot of stuff going on with going to the UK. So I didn't want to tell you that, and now I'm man enough to say it, and that's just what it is.
Fair enough. That's your man of your word, and I accept your bet.
All right. It's funny. I was gonna ask him, but I seen New Orleans. I would have known if it was him. But I met someone else at the weigh-in that works out of the Errol Spence gym and listens to the show. It was funny because he wants to get us in there too, man. He's like, man, when you gonna come check out Earl? I'm like, man, it's fucking Earl don't want to let us in there. But that's funny. The world keeps
it's that guy, no.
That guy, no. You're a jerk.
You're ridiculous.
I know.
Earl just isn't personable.
Then he wonders.
I ran into him at the weigh-ins and I tried talking about the TVB party and said happy birthday to him and everything. And
he's short.
He just doesn't like to talk. He just doesn't like to talk.
He's like Cotto. He's the black version of Miguel Cotto.
No, you know what? I think it's just his personality.
Cotto without the divaness.
No.
Not a diva.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is Cotto is the way he is because he's a diva. I think Earl's just soft-spoken. He's been like that since a kid. Like when he was a kid,
it could be like a short circle.
I talked to him
type of thing too.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like he's the exact same way he was when he was 17. Like he has not changed a bit. And so, I don't know. I just think that's the way he is. He probably won't ever change.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get heat for this, but like, thank God I changed from who I was at 17.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like his way he talks. You know what I mean? Like his.
I get what you're saying,
and stuff.
But I'm saying is, I think it's a lot of times fighters, complain. You have to be. The most important thing is what you do in the ring, but you need to. You don't need to if you want to maximize your your time as a prize fighter, you should at least try to make an effort outside the ring to do that. And don't complain if the numbers aren't where they were if you don't. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's fair. That's fair, MD. And again, I don't want to stay off topic or anything, but I will say this. I think maybe he is where he is because he was, I said he hasn't changed since 17. Maybe I'm right about that in the sense that the type of maturity it takes to be where he's at such an early age, he had to have been that way when he was younger. So to not change, from that age, because we probably weren't all that mature and at that age and probably not ready for the life that he, has put himself in. So, that's another aspect of it.
All right. So let's get into our Boomerang status all the way in Australia. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back, boys. Look, I just have to pull Matt up quick because he's in the chat. I don't know if it's he smoked one too many bowls or something, but he's saying Gamboa's too old for Davis. Look, brother, Davis is just too green for Gamboa at the moment,
Look, Alex,
maybe that's why you like him, because he's so green. You think you could pack him in a bowl and smoke him or something. I'm telling you, bro. Gamboa will take him out at this point. I think
what can Gamboa do technique-wise to deal with Gervonta Davis's power, his explosiveness, and his speed?
What do you think? What do you think Gamboa has, man? What do you think? He's slow and not strong, bro.
You don't think Gervonta Davis is a younger version of Gamboa in a way?
No, I would say Gamboa is more technically sound.
Maybe a couple of years' time, he's got him, but just right.
My issue with Gamboa is similar to my issue with David Haye. When he came back from his hiatus or whatever, he didn't fight anyone. Gamboa hasn't fought anyone. And he's 36, 37 years old, and he hasn't fought anyone. So to go up there against a 22-year-old champion who has power,
I don't like Terence Crawford.
I don't know, man.
I hate Terence Crawford.
Yeah. I'll tell you straight up that David Haye has never been mentioned as a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter. Gamboa was mentioned as a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. He really was.
I don't know, man. When David Haye had his cruiserweight run, I'm pretty sure somebody was mentioning him as a pound-for-pounder, man. He was devastating at cruiserweight, okay?
Maybe, but nowhere near. I mean, Gamboa is a special fighter. I just think that he had weight issues, and I think that he had promotional issues with 50 Cent, right? So it
was before that though. His problem.
He had the issues with Top Rank and Kareem.
Yeah, he had those issues with Top Rank.
Promoters,
but
Top Rank, but he had 2 others in a co-promotion deal with Top Rank.
I mean, the way he beat Salido was better than obviously
everyone,
and better than Mikey. So he's a good fighter.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this though. That's the interesting aspect of the fight because I don't remember who brought it up.
That's Matt's point. That's the old Gamboa. This Gamboa, who has been inactive, who's 36 years old, can we get that same specialness out of him?
And I'm doubtful.
But that's the reason why this fight. I don't remember who brought up the Gamboa fight earlier, but that sparked my interest right away. I think it was MD who said it, and I was like, man, that's a good fight. I didn't even think of that.
No, that's Canadian Jose brought a Gamboa.
Oh, okay, but I think that you had furthered the issue, and to me, that's the dynamics of the fight that make it so interesting because you have a guy like Gamboa who does have big fight experience, who has been on that big stage before. How used to the lights is Gervonta Davis. There are a lot of subplots in that fight, and that's the question. We don't have the answer of whether the Gamboa can roll back the clocks or not. We don't have the answers of whether or not Davis is can stay consistent as a fighter through different styles. So I think it's a great matchup. I really do.
Well, and Matt, let me just clarify one thing because I'm a little confused where you're coming from. You say that you think he's too old, he's not ready. Are you saying just that because you're picking Davis to win, or you think that it's a shit fight?
I don't think it's necessarily a shit fight. I'm not necessarily picking Davis to win. I'm just like, I don't know who's going to win that fight. And Alex in the chat was going like, oh, Gamboa clean clocks Davis. Gamboa wipes him out. I'm like, how can we say that? The last time Gamboa looked good is when he lost to Terence Crawford. And that was, 3 or 4 years ago now? Mm-hmm. We have to be realistic with where Gamboa is at and how that's a question mark. We just don't know how that fight's going to play out. And I'd rather see 2 young guys undefeated than a young undefeated fighter fighting an old fighter that's past his prime.
I know, but
always like 2 undefeated fighters fighting more.
But unfortunately, sometimes you need those old names to build yourself.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right, MD. So that's why I wouldn't be mad if they made the fight. Hell no. And it would still be entertaining. Let's be real. Like, even if it's a shit version of Gamboa that's a shell of himself, the fight's going to be entertaining with the way with the way they fight.
Marquez and Cotto are still being mentioned against some of these younger fighters. So
yeah, but those are all-time greats. Those are Hall of Famers. Gamboa is not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he never. Of course, Gamboa's career never ascended to the levels of obviously a Cotto or Marquez. So I feel you on that. But to say that Gamboa doesn't have a name for Tank Davis's record, I
didn't say
no,
that.
And that's the thing. No, yeah, Matt didn't say that, and I understand exactly where Matt's coming from. But here's the thing: look at the division that Gervonta Davis is in. I mean, you could make an argument that Gamboa is the Miguel Cotto of that division. I mean, there aren't a shitload of older stars in that division that have the kind of clout. Look, there aren't a lot of stars that have the kind of clout that Miguel Cotto and Marquez have anyway. But you know, that's probably a fight they would make anyway.
I like the Lomachenko, just real Corrales and Burchell fight more. I'll just leave it at that.
James, all around strong, who was also one of our sponsors for the event. What's going on, brother?
Feeling good, man. I'm just coming off that high from the weekend, man. I had a great time. Shout out to the whole Boxing Voice, you, Casual, MD, Matt, the whole staff. You know what I'm saying?
Pleasure hanging out with you, brother, and with your cousin for sure, man. We're talking Gervonta. He's from your area. You're in that DMV area. You've watched him coming up. What do you think about him going out to the UK for his first title defense? And what do you think about Canadian Jose's argument that he should be fighting here in the US to build his brand?
I think that Floyd, Leonard Ellaby, I think they know what they're doing. Obviously, Floyd is a real big hit over there. Y'all just seen him. I forgot who did the video, but he just was in the UK, if I'm mistaken, getting mobbed over there. So I think it's a good look only because, I mean, it's a good look. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Boxing is big over there, and I think they know what they're doing. As far as I didn't really hear what Jose said. I just got online not too long ago. But, I mean, just because he's going over there to fight, I mean, it ain't. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand what the big deal is. He'll be back. You know what I'm saying? If he go over there, handle that business. You know what I'm saying? His first challenger come back. That's only gonna make him bigger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could be a gamble. But I mean, that's what they in the sport for, right? So I think it's a good look. I mean, you know, obviously I'm biased, but I'm Team Davis. Tank is a problem, man. Tank is like really nothing to really mess around, and he shows y'all his boxing skills in his last fight. He shows y'all he can move, he could slip. If he really wants to, he could box. Once he get that boxing game down pat with that power, woo, it's gonna be something. And look, I don't care how old Gamboa is. Gamboa do not want that work. Gamboa is talented, but unlike his other partner from Cuba, Rigadal, he's not a skill fighter, man. He's a talented athlete, but he fights very unintelligently. Like even in that Crawford fight, he wouldn't have beat Crawford anyway, but he just, I don't know, man. Sometimes he a little too bravado for me, but I do enjoy his skill set. And he don't want Tank, man. And look,
James, real quick, how many more fights would you want him to take before he is ready for someone like Lomachenko?
I think it's a matter of competition more so than fights. I think at that level, you get what I'm saying? I mean, you could say 5 more fights, but it depends what the 5 are. I say maybe 2 to 3. If he's successful in England with that crowd over there, that's going to be a real pressure situation. Hopefully he rises to the occasion like I think he will. I say a couple more fights. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it real. I know I am biased, but I want that Gary Russell rematch, man. We need to make that happen before we talk about anybody else. But that's just my thoughts on that, man. But
whoa. Wait. So you doing a Mayweather and you throwing a roadblock in front of Lomachenko before he could get to Gervonta? He's got to go through a rematch with Gary Russell, who he already beat?
I ain't saying he has to. I just say that's the fight I want to see. You get what I'm saying? I think I'd rather see that. I ain't gonna say Rav. I mean, I want to see both them fights, but Gary Russell been on the tear lately, man. I don't know if he's still fighting this weekend. I heard it.
Nah, that's off.
I ain't really looking.
That's off. That Escandon got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt. But nah, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that I'd rather see. I mean, I do want to see that Gary Russell Jr. rematch, though, regardless if he fight Tank or not. But then, you know, Tank got to get through. He got to handle his business overseas, and that'll be a good fight. I don't know if it's gonna happen. You know, I mean, I don't know, man. But either way, man, I just want to give a shout out to my man Marcus from DC, JD, Jay, all y'all, man. And hey, what's my man from LA, man? What's his name?
Info Joe. Oh, Fern Gully.
Yeah, Yeah, shout to Info Joe too. We was live in that Yayo. So yeah, Fern Cully, man. He gave me a shout out on the show yesterday, man. So, you know, peace to him. I appreciate that. So I'm gonna get that shout out back. And I don't want to hold nobody up, man. But yeah, I had a good time, man, and looking forward to being a sponsor again if the opportunity arises. And I'm out, man.
All right, James. Well, thanks for calling in. You guys will be hearing a lot more. James has an interesting company that's going to mesh well with our listeners and our niche. We'll get into that further. But now we got to get to our 2017 Caller of the Year. I mean, what's going on?
What's good, fellas? What's good?
Another day, another podcast. We're talking to Young Tank making his first defense.
And listen, I picked against him against Pedraza, and like my man just said, like he showed us that he got the boxing skills. I feel like this is comparable to if Crawford, like how Crawford went over and snatched Ricky Burns, and how Bradley went over and snatched Jason Whittier. Like if he go over there and defend that belt, or is it unification? He's defending the strap he got from Pedraza, right?
Yep. Just defending, no unification.
So, okay, so if they go over there, he's got to knock him out, though. That's the thing. You ain't going to the UK and not literally whooping their ass, dominating. See, I don't think he has the boxing skills to dominate somebody with more boxing skills than him. But if he wear him down with the power, which every indication gives us he has that ability, and then pretend to box, I think he'll pull it out. But when you go to the UK, if you don't knock him out, you got to beat him down. So that's what makes it risky to me. But I like the fight because it shows, you know, he's willing to bet on himself and base it purely on what he knows he does best. And he get in there, he fight. So he's betting on himself to go over there and not even leave it in the judges' hands. And Floyd, I guess, has that same confidence in him. So, hey, shit, if they all in, I'm all in too.
All right, I mean, well, thanks for calling in as always. We haven't heard from this guy in a long time. You guys might have remembered him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
You got your block on fire, you ready to cheat. Until the moment you expire, you know what it is. You make it dirty, now something you handle your business. You don't be crying in this something you
Ooh. What's good, Nestor? Shout out to everybody out there listening, man. Ain't nothing, bro. I mean, it's been a little while, but we might as well get straight into it. Tank Davis, bro. When he got the Pedraza fight, he had a statement going out there saying strap season. So when I heard him say that, I'm expecting him to come in the game, beat the piss out Pedraza. Now we supposed to be looking at Lomachenko and the rest of these cats that's out there. I mean, I know he a young fighter, Ness. I know we need to let our young fighters grow and, you know, develop into young stars and all that. But that was before he got that strap. Strap season, now let's get it now. I don't want to see him fight these little young bucks and develop while he got the belt. Let's get it. Let's unify. We trying to see undisputed champions. And if he ain't trying to unify, he's trying to do this little crazy shit that I think Floyd gonna want him to do. This dog and pony show and his tap dance and this look at me on the high wire act. I ain't really going for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in there with Lomachenko.
Hold on, and
that's like.
What if we let him do the way Anthony Joshua did, right, MD? I mean, Anthony Joshua had Charles Martin, Dominic Brazil. Now he's getting.
It's funny. I was about to say that is the an example, and honestly, the same thing with Wilder. When they win the belt, we still acknowledge the fact that they're still developing because they haven't been boxing that long. So, I don't know. Like, I think sometimes if you're going to put him in too quickly with Lomachenko, especially in a sport that we know that the O means a lot. I think that hurts his brand immediately. I think that you have to build himself to eventually face a Lomachenko. So not only that he's better and he has a better chance to beat Lomachenko, that if he loses, he still has a bigger brand that he could fall back to and rebuild it. So, can you tell me who I know he didn't win a title, but what is Amir Imam doing right now? What is Saddam Ali doing right now? Can you guys tell me what they're doing? Because both of those guys were very hyped and they both lost. So
I hear all that, bro, but like the good got to suffer for the bad on this one. You know what I'm saying? Them guys made it. They slipped through the cracks. I give you that. I read my hand on that one. They slipped through the cracks. But the heavyweight division is big as a weaker division than the division that Gervonta Davis. They got a lot of sharks in that water, man. We want to see him. We want to see him in there swimming with him. We don't want him in the kitty in the pool. He done gotten the deep end now. It's deep over there. Now we want to see how it is. We want to see if you're a real dog. You say you're a dog. I want to see if you're a real dog. Let's fight. Now, besides that, we know where I stand on that. I'm not letting that slide. Y'all might let it slide, but I ain't going to let it slide. Let's get on my man, because I ain't get a chance, because I was busy on the other show. I just want to get this off my chest right quick. My man, one time Keith Thurman, you dig? Now, there was a grand stage like this in the welterweight division. In my opinion, I think this was the biggest stage since Mayweather Pacquiao for the welterweight division. We had a lot of casuals tuning in on this one here, thinking we gonna see fireworks. Now, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter was a way better fight that should have been on the stage like this, if you ask me, because they put on, that was two fighters that came to go to war. Keith Thurman let me down in that fight. I'm gonna put it all the way out there. I don't watch Keith one time Thurman to see a Floyd Mayweather performance.
Why you blaming
Thurman?
Why you blaming him?
Why I'm blaming Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman? Because he got off the gas. And
I threw more punches.
The reason why he got off the gas, MD. When you watch Triple G, you don't watch Triple G for him to get off the fucking gas, MD. You watch Triple G to produce knockouts. And this supposed to be Keith one time Thurman. We ain't see a goddamn one time in about 5 fights. So when is he gonna produce on instant? Triple G producing.
Listen. But how can you say that Keith Thurman's not producing when he was in the fight of the year last year? I mean, let's keep it real. When has Danny Garcia been in an exciting fight since the Matisse fight? Let's keep it real.
Well, we can't keep it real.
Exactly.
And
I always keep it real.
To be able to get that back. You see how much time he got after the bell. We're going to go to 202. Looks like the Washington, D.C., DMV, Virginia area. 202. Who's this? Where are you calling from? Okay. Schmurder in the back. 202. You're up. 202-285. 202-285. All right. Well, there you go. Let's
better be careful so we're not going to be pulled from YouTube for the copyright infringements.
I know, right? That's probably was a troll and shit. It was a setup. That was a little a podcast bomb set us up right there. Hey, Mario, you live, bro? The chat. Oh, real quick to OTKP. I don't remember what it was that you said, but whatever you said, you were wrong. And I didn't get to tell you that since you're always a little smart ass. But I seen it in the chat. So I guess no one's mad at Tank for going to the UK. I think it's a good thing. Early exposure to a bigger, not a bigger, but to another, I guess, demographic.
And I think everyone who's underrating this fight, I think you're mistaken. Liam Walsh is a really good prospect. He's going to be difficult for Gervonta Davis. He's going to stick to a game plan more than Pedraza did. He's going to stick on the outside and jab him more and throw on straight lines more. Do I still pick Gervonta Davis? Hold on. Do I still pick Gervonta Davis to win by knockout? Of course.
I agree.
But Liam Walsh is going to give him a tough fight. So do not sleep on this fight, people. It's going to be.
Matt, you also picked Pedraza, did you not?
No, I picked Davis, dude. Why do you keep thinking I picked Pedraza?
Oh, who's that, Steve?
And even if he did, but
all right, my bad. I apologize.
No, and even if he did pick Pedraza, even if he did pick Pedraza, though, I mean, the argument is about Liam Walsh, and I agree wholeheartedly. It's
is that T in Toronto down there, Matt? 647.
Ooh,
I just think you have to be more special than Liam Walsh to be competitive with Davis. That's my opinion.
No, and you might be right, but all I'm saying is that at the end of the night, even if he gets starched, that all the credit in the world still should go to Gervonta Davis, because Liam Walsh. Look, Gary Sykes isn't a huge name. It's not a great guy to have on. Klimov isn't super big either. But at the end of the day, those are like solid wins. I mean, you know what I mean. And so I think that it's a decent opponent, much better than some of the people have, I guess, alluded to.
And plus, remember, like, this is the boxing voice. We stick to the eye test as well.
Oh yeah, well said, Matt.
Yeah, what's up, fellas, man? How y'all living?
T, man, I hate that you had to go the next day, man. I just want to say it was a pleasure meeting you, bro. I wish we had more time to hang out and talk. I was doing the hosting, man, but I'm sure you've heard from the other shows already, man. Totally left a great impression on me. I still didn't even get to ask, how the hell are you, Lou? How are you? You sound like your name sounds Hispanic. Are you Dominican or something?
Nah, my grandmother is Cuban.
Oh, okay. There you go, MD.
So my grandmother moved from Cuba. My grandmother moved from Cuba to Jamaica.
Okay.
So I got roots in kind of both areas. Yeah.
Both are best worlds right there. Man. Both are best worlds. You got.
Yeah, I'm a mutt. I'm a mutt, but I'm a good looking one.
Yo, it's definitely impressed me, man. I was telling everybody you look like a fucking rapper and shit. Are you the new Toronto Zone and shit?
Nah, man. We just do what we do. Make money. Gotta look good. I gotta make an impression on good people like y'all, man. Appreciate all the time, effort y'all put in. It was a great show. It was a great showing, I should say. Man, Marcus from DC, great cat. Info Joe. All y'all, man. I appreciate it. It's great to put a face to the voices and all them personalities, man. It's rare that you get that many people around each other in a party event. I guess you could say visible minorities, and you have to worry about nothing going on because it's all love. You know what I mean? It was a great time. Great time. I'll do it again. Next one you guys got coming up, I'm flying out, even if it's for a day.
Man, that is amazing to hear. And you're absolutely right. I mean, the first time it ever happened, we did one in Vegas. And that's when I realized that this was something that needed to continue to happen. When you can turn to your left, to your right, anywhere you look and be able to find knowledgeable boxing conversation, man, that's something that you just have to, appreciate. But T, man, we're talking Tank and him going over to the UK to make his first title defense. Are you buying or selling this? You think Mayweather's correcting his own mistakes by having the young Tank, kind of travel internationally and make a stamp? Or are you like Jose, who's from Canada and feels, Tank should have stood home and had a hometown fight? Bring this guy to the DMV area and fight in front of his own fans.
Well, I think you should build the brand however it sees fit. I mean, a DC fight after winning the title would probably be ideal because you bring the title back to your home fans, give them an opportunity to see a world champion again. But at the same time, UK sells out pretty much every fight. They got Box Nation. They love boxing over there. So if you can build your brand internationally, it'll be that much bigger of a fighter when the time comes. So, I mean, I like having a fight like this before Lomachenko because if you get all the titles in one hand right away, then what do the prospects do? The prospects going to have to fight a unification title fight on their first chance, and they haven't earned that yet. So I feel like you do need a little bit of parity and have 3 fighters with 1 belt each and have some prospects get crossed off the list before there's a unification. We crown the top dog.
T, let me ask you a question because I remember somebody mentioned this in the chat, and it honestly is something that it's crazy to say, but I really could see it possible. Do you think if that fight that you were at last weekend was at the UK, do you think it would sell out? 2 guys who aren't from the UK, but people in the UK who watch boxing know who they are. Do you think that it would be able to sell out?
I mean, I think them 2 cats would have sold out. I don't think that applies for everybody, but I think
just Garcia Thurman, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I would think Thurman and Garcia would.
Yeah, and I think that you guys should keep that in mind because I agree with that because those guys are not from the UK, and it just shows you that that you have to go where the money is. I mean, it's a free market, and we live in a global society where you got to go where the money is. And boxing, if you're not going to be making money in the DMV area every single fight, you have to go overseas.
How many tickets you think? Let's say that Al did do that, right? He works with Eddie Hearns. They have that relationship. He said, "Look, I'm gonna shop you both Danny and the Thurman fight. You can put it in the O2. You can put it in the Wimbledon or whatever."
No, Wimbledon's too big for that. I would say that they sprinkle some young UK talent on the undercard, and it easily sells out.
Exactly. You still got to put some UK guys over there because at the end of the day, people are going to ride for their own. They're going to wonder why we're going to spend all this money on these American cats. They do good in America as it is. We don't need to give them that much help. But if you sprinkle some of the young prospects in there, I think it will go. I think it'll take off.
You throw like a Katie Taylor, is popular over there. I guess she's being pushed hard. Or, he lost, but someone like Boy Jones, I know he lost, but someone like that.
Girl, man, I want to see that new girl, Nicola. She looks like she's fucking tough just because of the haircut. I'm sorry.
And very quickly, MD made a great point about fighters going to go to where the money's at. Back in the day, fighters came from Europe, America, Africa, everywhere to the States to fight because that's where the money was at. That's why you had Max Schilling come to the U.S. and fight Joe Louis here. There's a reason why Dick Tiger came to the U.S. to get belts. Okay, there's a reason why all these foreigners came to the U.S.
That's actually okay. I hate that
it was there.
Tipster, but he's not 100% accurate. The Max Schmeling thing was way different because he was a part of the Nazis, right? So they used him as a propaganda machine. You cannot say he came over here for money. That's ridiculous.
Money was here, dude.
Well, why didn't they have it in Germany then?
We used to sell it.
They had Joe Louis for him in Germany.
MD, you know that we used to sell at 100,000 seat stadiums in the U.S. back in the day. We did.
In
New York, we did that.
I'm saying Max Schmeling didn't come over here from
that. Now you can do that in the UK. You can't do it in Mexico because you can't make money in Mexico. You can't do it in Canada because there's not enough Canadian fighters. You can't do it in.
So do you know why I say that Lomachenko can't find the
Ukraine market in the UK?
You know why I said that Lomachenko can't find the Ukraine now?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And by the way,
I said and agreed with you that was a valid point. That that's why Canelo Chavez wasn't in Mexico City.
And by the way, it's not like UK fighters don't say that all the time. How many of them, are constantly interviewed, especially when they're getting on the cusp of that tipping point, and they say, "Oh, we're coming to the States because we want to rise in popularity. I want to bring my profile up. I want to make real money." For a very long time, and it still is. America is the Graceland for boxing in a lot of ways, but in certain divisions. And in certain parameters of the sport, I'm sorry, the UK is where it's at. And honestly, it's just the parameters are growing.
I don't think it's America. I think it's Vegas. And this is what I've said before, and I will stand by this until I see otherwise. I think Las Vegas boxing, at least where it was, died when Floyd Mayweather retired.
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely fallen off, but.
Like it's ridiculous, and it just hurts me as a boxing fan that Kovalev Ward didn't sell out. It hurts me that Kovalev Ward did 150,000. Like we get it, like the Golovkin pay-per-view failed, but he's versus David Lemieux. Who's David Lemieux, right? Kovalev Ward should have done, 500,000 pay-per-view buys in a perfect world, but it didn't, and it's just that's to show us that Kovalev Ward in the UK. What the fuck? What do you think that would do? So we got to keep in mind.
And that's an interesting point. I think it's a separate issue, though, because if you look at a guy like Klitschko who could fight, where he fights and make all this money, but he still fought in New York. There's a nostalgia. Like, it's not just Vegas. You're right in the sense of making real money, but there's a nostalgia to America. There's a nostalgia to the Garden. There's a nostalgia now to the Barclays. There's a nostalgia to, what's that place in L.A.? God damn it.
StubHub, Staples.
StubHub, Staples, the place where, and place where Morales fought a bunch of times in Barrera. Yes. And so, nostalgia is a hard thing to defeat.
I just hope that Canelo and Chavez, sometimes they should say Viva la Mexico. They should say Viva la America sometimes too, because they make their money in America. Let's not pretend they make their money.
Or at least Viva la Mexican American.
Exactly. You acknowledge the fact that you are making money in America, That's it.
Well, Really quick, I want to thank T for calling in, and I want to thank everyone that did tune in and listen. If you're watching this in the future, present, past, in the words of Blackface, hit that thumbs up button. Always helps with the visibility of the show. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. And my co-host,
Mario Munguia on Twitter and Mario Munguia on Facebook and Instagram.
You can find me at BoxingMD1 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, on Patreon, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, etc.
Later.